Welcome to HR Happy Hour. It is the work break here with Trish and Steve. Hey, Steve Bose.
Hey, Trish McFarlane, how are you? Happy Monday, which is kind of over, more or less, at least from a work perspective. It's a little bit later in the day, but
I know. I tried to have a work break earlier in the day with you when I was ready for a break and you were busy. So
I
what are you doing? What are you working on?
So the funny thing was today started off with the Zoom outage, right? I'm sure you saw the headlines and heard people talking about it, maybe read something about it. And before I had heard about the Zoom outage, I checked my calendar for today. And at the beginning of today, my calendar was mercifully free of Zoom calls, right? Like for the first time in forever. And I even did an Alexa show this morning, basically where I went on the Alexa shows, hey, Zoom is down. I didn't have any Zoom calls today anyway, and advising everybody, take a break from Zoom once in a while. It's probably a good thing. Like that's a blessing in disguise. Well, then it turns out Zoom fixed whatever problem they were having, and a couple of Zoom things did pop up on my calendar as the day went on. So I did not have a Zoom free day as I thought I would. But no, what I've been doing, and I'm finally finished with it, is all the demos, software demos that I've been doing I look back, Trish, I started doing them on July 6th was the first one I did. Untoward number of demos for top HR products of the year process that we'll be doing at HR Executive and at HR Tech. So when I'm finished with demos, no more demos for a while for me.
That's great. One of the things is that puts you a little bit of ahead because you're seeing all these demos, whereas I've personally done maybe 15 in the last 2 months. I think you've done like countless, right? Like
55 maybe.
Yeah,
I can't remember. I lost track.
Very good. Well, I can't wait to hear how it turns out.
And yeah, I'm excited. So but a little bit of a break from the Zoom is good. So to me, this is the work break. This isn't work. This is fun. We're just having a chat. But after a while, Zoom call after Zoom call can really rail on you. You were messing around though a little bit today with something kind of interesting and fun related to the work break. Maybe you can, for folks who didn't catch this morning, maybe you want to talk about that for a second.
I have been because, I always ask people if you have questions for us, if there's anything you want us to talk about, let me know. And people actually take me up on that. So what I had done was I started playing with this idea of having a chat to maybe go with it. Now, again, this is early stages, but if you're out on Twitter and you just do #workbreakchat, I did put 5 questions.
Oh, did you? Okay. I saw a few of them. I didn't see all 5. Great.
I put 5 out there to start. So these are questions that have come in from other people. And so my thought is 2 things. We could just answer some online. Obviously, people can weigh in and we'll share them for the next couple days just to see if there's interest in actually doing it this way. Because when I think back to being a practitioner, one of the things I did was look to chats to answer questions that I could use in my workplace. And so these were actually really thoughtful. I mean, we get, of course, some, ones that are just more trivial or very personal, things like that I just answer directly. But these were things where I thought, oh, it could actually be kind of fun. So, for example, one that I have is question number 2 out there says, what inspires you that few people know about? Could be art, music, writing, spoken word, etc.
Okay, so that's a good question. Yeah, it's interesting.
Again, it makes me think about when I first started doing public speaking on a regular basis. And I drew my inspiration, even for blogging, from so many places outside of human resources and even outside of business. That was one of the things. And so that was kind of an interesting question. And another one was, let's see, we all have ideas or partially complete opinions. What do you do with yours? Where do you keep them? And do you ever revisit them? And so I got to thinking that question was asked of us. So maybe we answer that one today. And that can be kind of our question of the day. So for me, it's interesting. I always used my blog when I was writing 5 to 7 days a week. That was my place where I got those kind of scraps of thoughts and ideas out there. But over time, there would be many that would never make it to me hitting publish. And so I would carry maybe 50 different kind of sometimes one sentence, sometimes a paragraph for years. 50 or so would just be floating, right? Some would eventually turn into something later, and some not. And so I've gone back and kind of cleared those out, but that's kind of how I do it. I'm a big journal fan. And so I will write down scraps of ideas. I might be in the car, in which case I'll do a voice recording for myself that I later put into some sort of journal. Yeah, I go back. I can pull one from 4 or 5 years ago and think like, oh, wow, I never really did finish that thought. And maybe now with experience and hindsight and so forth, it turns into an actual real idea for the business. So I don't know about you. How do you capture kind of those fleeting ideas? Because I think that was a really good question.
I mean, I guess I'd have some of the same kinds of thoughts back when I was blogging all the time too. That would be a place to do that. I use the Alexa show for some of that now. Like today, when I heard about the Zoom thing and I thought that was interesting, and I had a kind of a point of view or just a comment to make about it, I rolled it out on the Alexa feed. So some of that.
But what about the ones that I'm asking specifically? Like, what about the ones that don't make it into something public?
Yeah.
Where do you keep them?
I use Google Keep a lot for that kinds of stuff because it's on my phone as an app, right? And It's also, just to take a quick note, honestly, I use it for a lot of practical things too. Back when we used to travel, anytime I parked the car at the airport, I would use a Google Keep note to put in where I parked the car, like by what section in the parking garage or what floor and what number. But if I just have quick thoughts or something that hits me, or a phrase, a concept, a title, or I'll use Google Keep probably, and for that kind of thing. Like I don't have a written journal. Like I
don't have that, and I've never had
an app. Google Keep, check it out. If you're a Google person, I'm a Google person, and you can convert easily the Google Keep notes into Google Docs. I think like just with one command, right? So if you'd started a note in Keep, and then you wanted to actually write something more expansive, you could like port it over to Docs really, really easy. You can share, it's got all the kind of features that Google has. So that's probably would be my answer.
Okay, I probably use Evernote a little bit for that too. Again, just another app for that, but yeah. It's interesting. I wish there would be a way to, and maybe there could be a way, right? I'm sort of thinking out loud, but like to get a group of people together in our industry. What if we just put a challenge out even and said, look through your little scrap ideas, a sentence, a phrase, a title of whatever, something that you haven't used, and tweet it at us. I would love to put some of those.
You're going to challenge me now. So I'm going to look at my Keep notes right now to see if I have any. Oh, you know what? Actually, what I had in here.
Yeah, what do you have?
It was something for a work thing we were working on, me and Karen, over the weekend. So all the notes I had for that little exercise were in a Keep note. And I got some jokes in here. Person I wanted to contact about the show, the address of a hotel I stayed in once. This is not that exciting as I look back through this. There's 775 workers in China. I have that as a note in here. I'm not sure what to do with that, but.
That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about, though. Isn't that interesting that was important enough for you to capture? To me, I'm fascinated by that. So I think it would be fun for people to look back. Oh, I have one here called Boundless Travel. Mm-hmm. Who knows what I meant with that, right? But
I think they were like a 90s indie band. I remember them. They were good. Like kind of alt rockers. Yeah.
I doubt it. Inside Out for mental health. I need a meditation.
I'm not sure what some of the stuff in there. I mean, some of the practical things is where I parked the car and where the hotel was. I have had a history of like back when we were doing all the travel. I remember there was one year where we were in Arizona a whole bunch of times for various events, like in all those Scottsdale resorts that are all kind of clustered around each other. Yeah. And one time I'd gone back to Arizona for like the third time in 5 weeks and got in a cab or an Uber or whatever I did at the airport and went to the resort, haul my bag out, go up to the counter. Okay, I don't see anybody around. That's okay, whatever. The event was maybe starting the next morning or something. Go to check in and they don't know who I am. They have no record for me, no reservation, no nothing. And I said, isn't the so-and-so event here? I think it might've been Saba or something. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. I said, isn't the Saba event here? They're like, no, there's no event here this week. Like I went to the wrong resort and I had to like go back through my phone and the emails because I'm awful at that kind of stuff. And I was, 10 miles away. I went to the wrong resort and I had to get back in the cab and go over there. So yeah,
I got to the wrong airport before. For not writing things down. And before the whole TSA, thing with 9/11 happened, I was notorious for going to the airport at the last minute. I've definitely shown up for flights on the wrong airline. like
Yeah.
got into the gate when you did, when you didn't have to go through.
Oh yeah, you can just walk up there. Yeah.
Just walk up.
Yeah.
I'd be running, like, oh, I'm gonna get that last, because you could run right on before they close the doors, and it'd be the wrong airline. I'd be like, oh.
I just noticed something, Trish. We're doing the show a little bit later in the day, which is fine, but it's also the time of year is changing a little bit, right? The sun is. So the sun is kind of going down behind the houses behind my house, and I can see like the where it's coming in,
You're in the spotlight.
The shadow of my ring light, which is above the laptop here, to try to get some. I got this like circle of shadow like all over me, so I gotta like fix that. That is so weird. Hey, I have one real quick one. Do we have time for a quick one? It's fine.
Yeah, one more quick one, and then we'll call it a day.
A university in Germany, Trish, is offering what they're calling idleness grants. There are 3 of them available, up to 1,600 euros a piece. And this is what the grants are about. You have to answer 4 questions to be considered for the grant. Then you have to execute on your answers and then write a little report. Here are the questions. Question 1, what do you not want to do? Question 2, for how long do you not want to do it? Question 3, why is it important to not do this thing? And finally, number 4, this is my favorite one. Why are you the right person not to do it? I love that. I want to apply.
I love it.
I know what I'm going for right now.
I think you should. But the first thing, I will totally date myself with this, but hopefully the audience appreciates it. The first thing I thought of was, I do not want to buy anything, sell anything, or process anything. I don't want to buy anything, sold, processed, sell anything, bought, processed. Remember? What movie?
Was that Say Anything? Yeah. Okay. I remembered that story. Yeah.
Have you heard of kickboxing, Sport of the Future?
Yeah.
That's right.
So my answer, Trish, is email. I never want to read, respond, or review another email again for the rest of my life.
That's a great question. What would you not? Read the first question again. How's it phrased?
What do you not want to do?
Like ever again.
Or how long do you not want to do it? Why is it important not to do this thing? And then why are you the right person not to do it? So I thought it was cool. I'll find the link. I didn't make this up. I read this obviously over the weekend, and I thought it was funny. And I was thinking of my hate affair with email from most of my professional life. And I thought, oh my God. Can I like stay off email for a couple of months? That would be awesome.
Yeah. What do people not want to do?
Yeah, I think it's a good question. It's actually kind of provocative in a weird way. Semi-interesting.
Yeah, I'm really thinking. I don't even know what comes to mind immediately. What do I not want to do?
I mean, it could be mundane, right? How many more times in your life do you want to vacuum? Or like, I guess you can find ways around that fairly simply, but it's got to be something that there's not really a simple alternative or cheap or convenient alternative for it. It's something you're stuck doing, and you just feel like you have to.
Mine would be, honestly, if I could, I don't want to drive. I don't want to drive anymore. I don't like to drive. I don't enjoy driving. It's functional. I think mine would be driving. I don't want to drive. I don't want to drive anymore.
All right. Well, I'm going to work on my answers to the questions. Maybe I'll come up with something more creative than email, but I'm going to think about that this week.
That's a good one. I like it. All right. Well, thanks everyone for listening.
I'm trying to get out of the shadow here.
I know you're like in the spotlight. Show's over. You're in the spotlight. No, thanks for listening. Thank you for all the questions. And please go to the new hashtag work break chat. Again, right now, we're not setting it up for a certain day or time. This is really just a place if you have ideas and want to give us answers that we can talk about on future episodes of the work break, we will take those. And who knows, maybe in a week or so, we'll set something up a little more formally. Maybe we do it once a week, and that's a good place just for people to share their ideas. But as always, please keep DMing us, tweeting, emailing, wherever, carrier pigeon, whatever.
Maybe don't email me, but go ahead. Everything else is fine.
Telegram, Telegraph, fax. Hey, fax me. Fax me, people. All right. Anyway, have a good rest of the day, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, everyone.